And good evening and welcome to another edition of The Way I See It. I am Ralph Williams. It's great to be here. It's Monday. Every Monday at 7 p.m. we are here live on YouTube and Facebook, and your comments are welcome. Tonight's live call-in phone is not working properly, so I cannot have it working tonight for you. But we're here at 808 Studios here in Allentown, and we're getting ready to do our show here called The Way I See It. It's me, Ralph Williams. If you're new to the show, you can make comments here on Facebook and on YouTube. We welcome your comments as always. And tonight we're going to start off with our Chinese wisdom as we always do. And it says here, chance, focus, the prepared mind. I'm sorry, chance favors the prepared mind, which means you can have a chance, but if your mind is prepared for that chance, you can always do something with that chance. We have a lot to talk about tonight, and in case you didn't watch my TV show, The Way I See It, also on PCTV, Channel 21, Comcast 47, Verizon Cable in Allegheny County, the greater Pittsburgh area, PCTV's Facebook page, or if you're around the country, anywhere watching this live streaming, or if you're watching this on Facebook and YouTube, wherever you are across the country and around the world, you can also watch it on Facebook on PCTV's Facebook page as well. All right, tonight we're going to enter our Blast segment. Blast segment's brought to you by Robin Campbell Insurance, Farmers Insurance. You can call 412-366-3399. And Robin will set you up with any kind of insurance you want. He is Farmers Insurance Agent Robin Campbell. All right. First, we're going to blast city planning tonight. Now, you know, this weekend, it seems like the Pride Festival was going on. Three Rivers Arts Festival was going on. The Riverhounds were playing. The Pirates were in town. I want to know who in city planning decided in their infinite wisdom to have all these events all go on at one time. All right? Somebody tell me that, please. Okay? In the downtown North Shore area. And that didn't include what was at the theater. If there was stuff at the theater going on. Or at PPG Paints. What's going on here? How many times do I have to say this about city planning and all these events? You know, one of these days, there's going to be a natural disaster, and nobody's going to be able to get out because there's too many things going on at one time downtown. That is a safety problem. And, you know, here we are again talking about safety. We continue to talk about safety, but we do dumb, numbskull things like the city planning all these events all at one time. It makes zero sense to me. All right, I thought that when Ed Gainey took over as mayor that we conquered this problem. But I know this was planned last year during the Peduto administration. No wonder it happened this weekend. And I'm blasting that tonight, city planning. That's the way I see it. Next, Bruce Kraus. Okay, here we go. Councilman Kraus, once again, opening his mouth up, sticking foot in it, for saying we do not need more police on the south side. We need the police that are there to do their job. Well, will you let the police do their job, Bruce? Let them do their job, all right? And then also, you do need more police on the south side, especially on the weekends. Bruce, let me ask you this question. What are you smoking? Or what kind of Kool-Aid are you drinking? Okay? I'm not even going to say it, and I'm not going to go there because I'm not going to do that. But let me tell you something. I know what kind of Kool-Aid you're drinking, and I know what you're smoking. Okay, because it's obvious that you have no clue what you're talking about. All right, you come on TV, you talk about we don't need more police. You know, why is it that everybody keeps saying we don't need more law enforcement? We do. Okay, stop saying that. We have gun violence problems, Bruce, and you're talking about not enough police? No, we don't need no more police on the south side. Really? Are you joking, Bruce? You know, here's a man that don't even return my phone calls, who said he was going to clean up my building here of all the crime and the nonsense and the meatheads in here. Well, guess what? He has never returned my phone call. So there's where that comes from. That's the way I see it tonight. Next, home decor outlet in a strip district. You know, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Ripping customers off, not giving them their furniture, going out of business, and just leaving everybody hang. That's a shame. And you know what's funny about that whole thing? I hope Josh Shapiro goes after you, because you know why? It's really awful when you go and you screw somebody over like this. And you're just the exact kind of person that I blast on this program. And tonight I'm blasting you because I'm going to tell you what, you should have never did this to these people. I know COVID was a problem. I know COVID was a big problem, okay? But don't do things like this to people, all right? That's not right. Home decor outlet, pay up what you owe or give these people their furniture. And that is the way I see it tonight. Next, Pittsburgh Public Schools. Making kids take public transportation. Now look, I don't have a problem with kids taking Port Authority. All right? I have a problem with the kids, the way they act on Port Authority buses. Okay? Have you ever been on a Port Authority bus? If you have, I want your comment right now, because I'm going to tell you this right now. These school kids, especially Pittsburgh public school kids, they're all bad kids. Every one of them. And they hang out downtown. They cause all kinds of problems. Please, Pittsburgh Public Schools, work this out to get school buses. And I know you're lacking drivers. Port Authority is too. Everybody, Greyhound, everybody is lacking drivers. Okay? So don't go there and tell trucking companies everybody's lacking drivers. Okay? So don't go there and tell me that, oh, well, we have this problem and we have that problem. No kidding. Okay, no kidding, Pittsburgh Public Schools. You need to put your kids in school buses. I don't want these rowdy kids on Port Authority buses. And you know why? Because I'm the Allegheny County Transit Council. I'm the president. And the last thing I want is bus operators getting hurt or any passengers getting hurt, getting verbally abused or anything like that at all by these kids because they're bad. All right? And that, tonight, is the way I see it in our blast segment. All right, next is our bonehead segment. The 12-year-old kid in Hartford, Mississippi, who attempted to rob a convenience store and then got arrested for it. Wow, that was crazy. There you go. That's for that 12-year-old kid who got caught. Yeah, that's a shame, isn't it? A 12-year-old kid. See, this is where guns have gone. Oh, and here we go. Wisconsin woman arrested for DUI with 4 kids in her car. Wow, what a boneheaded move that is, I tell you. That's crazy, isn't it? Oh, yeah. It's really nuts.
Oh, no.
So, all right, my life story tonight. The reason why we're kind of speeding things up a little bit, we have a lot to talk about tonight in topics. And my life story is, well, somewhat long, more or less. But this week was an interesting, this past week was an interesting weekend. I went to the Pirate game at PNC Park, and they won, and it was great. It was great that that I went to the game. Had some fun. I don't spend money on games because I don't like Bob Nutting. The only reason I went was because it was Fedora Hat Day. My wife wanted to go, and my mom wanted to go, so we all went. Okay. I sat in my usual section, 143, which is in the outfield behind this fence. Okay, I don't care if I get a ball or not. I can't catch one anyway, so what's the difference, okay? So anyhow, here we are. I decide that I'm going to go get some refreshments, okay? We go to the one stand, and this was before we even sat there. It was burgers. You know, there's no hot dogs on that level. You have to go up to the next level to get a hot dog. Then, if you want a souvenir cup, which probably cost a fortune, you have to go up to the second level too. Now, what I don't understand here is why doesn't PNC Park have every type of refreshment as well as they have up on the second level on the level where I was sitting, okay, in 143, all right? Because they're too busy worrying about they built a bar. They built a bar, an actual bar, behind the seats near the Clemente wall. They built a bar. Why? So more people can stagger around and get drunk while families are there with their kids? Okay? Do you catch what I'm trying to say? They were more concerned about that bar than they were about letting the decent people like myself who come to a game and wanted to just get a hot dog. All right. Okay. So I had hamburger. I had waffle fries. And would you know it? Okay. The burger was bad. They put this ugly, nasty sauce on there on the burger. It wasn't all that great. Okay. All right. And the French fries, of course, were waffle fries, and they threw some kind of whatever on it. It wasn't all that great either. So I pay all this money for food. It was almost $60 between what I got, my mom got, and my wife got. That was drinks and burgers and fries. Okay. All right. It was almost $60. And you're going to try to, and then you're going to give me nasty food? Ooh. There's something wrong with that. So I cornered the manager. And, he was, oh, really, did that happen? I said, yeah, the food was nasty. The bun was stale. I says, I didn't like the burger. I says, it was dry. I says, and then on top of all that being dry, the burger patty was kind of small considering what I paid for the burger. I mean, I could get a better burger somewhere else. And you remember in Caddyshack, remember when Rodney Dangerfield goes, I get better food at the ball game. There's still marks on the meat where the jockey was hitting it. Tell the cook this is low-grade dog food. Well, not now. You get better food. You get worse food at the ball game and you pay more money. So comment section wide open. Has this happened to you? Did you go to PNC Park and have a bad experience with this? All right. It was nice to know that I had a couple friends there. A guy I know in the building here. And then on top of that, my friend of mine in the media, Chip Hayner from Pittsburgh Sports Line on Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock on Bethel Park TV. He was there as well. He's a big baseball fan. He gets season tickets for the Pirates every year, a partial plan or whatever he does. But anyhow, it was nice the game. It was a nice game. It was a nice time out. My wife and I hadn't been out to something like this in a while because we had to save all of our money for our wedding, because of members of my family. So I'm not going to go into that tonight either. But that's the situation there. And I wasn't very happy about that at all. So also, I had to stop at Verizon. Okay. Now, I bought myself a new phone. I had to get a new phone. Okay. The one I have went kaboom. All right. And I went to get myself a new tablet as well. All right. So here we are. I go there, I purchased the stuff. I wasn't aware because the clerk didn't tell me this. I'm not one of these, maybe I should answer questions before I purchase stuff, because when I got to the Verizon to pick the stuff up, all right, or when I got there, okay, they didn't tell me that this was Bluetooth, that I didn't have a hookup to put, because I like to wear headsets and things like that, okay, or, hands-free devices or whatever. But they didn't tell me that I had to spend $75 to buy a Bluetooth headset, okay? Or I had to go on eBay and go look for one. Now, I've had one before. Didn't work very well, and I didn't like it. And, I'm a traditional type of person. I'm old school. I like to have those kinds of old school things like headsets and things like that, all right? Yeah. So anyway, so we go, and my wife and I, we decide we're going to go out there and go get this handled. Well, we get there to go get the products, the extension pieces that they're supposed to have. So the salesperson, whose cell phone number I have because he gave it to me when he was calling us in when we had to wait an hour because there were 800 people there to get things done with their phones or whatever. So we decided we'll go to Omaha Steaks. We went to this one out in Robinson. So we go, in the Settlers Ridge. We go to Omaha Steaks, pick up an order. We decided to sit down and have something from Dairy Queen. So we're sitting down. Then we get called in. We purchase everything, walk out the door, and come to find out everything's Bluetooth. So I can't plug a headset in because I have to have this little adapter. So we go back to Verizon. My salesperson says, oh, yeah, we got plenty of these. They're only like $7. Okay, fine. So we go out there. All right. They don't have them. All right. I had to go to Best Buy, and they only had one at Best Buy, and it cost me $12. Now, I had to do all that running around. You know, with gas prices these days, you don't like to do all kinds of running around. All right? So we had to do all this running around to go get this one piece of equipment that I needed to plug into my tablet and to my phone, because they only do Bluetooth headsets now. All right? So anyway, I've been having some bad luck with headsets. I went to, and I mentioned this last show, I went to Five and Below and found out that it's more, that it's not Five and Below, it's Five Above, because everything now, most of their stuff is $7, $10, $35, $25. Not everything's under five and below anymore. All right. So here we are with this Five and Below. Had two headsets I got, and one of them went kaboom. And I went to Walmart and I bought two for $20. I got two good headsets. So we're going to see if they work. All right. So far, I'm not having any issues with that, but you know what I'm talking about. And all right, next, we went to have somewhat of an early dinner, late lunch at the Central Diner on Steubenville Pike. I got to tell you what, if you ever get a chance, the Central Diner, man, I tell you what, they make some good food. Everything in there is made from scratch. Everything. And I ordered the meatloaf, and I got to tell you, they come out with this big platter dish full of meatloaf. And actually, to be honest with you, they gave me more meatloaf and only gave me a small scoop of mashed potatoes. It was kind of hilarious. And I had this was on Friday, I had a Manhattan clam chowder. It was pretty decent. I've never had Manhattan clam chowder. And I tell you what, it was really good. Big chunks of crab, or clam. Oh, yeah, it was so good. Oh, Central Diner, I got to tell you what, if you're ever out that way, go to Central Diner. We had a great experience there. The service was good, and the food was really delicious. I mean, and the portions, oh my gosh, the portions were huge. I see a lot of cars there all the time, so I'm always thinking it's always crowded in there. Well, here they had two big parties, and get this, the hostess was telling me that everybody from the two big parties that they had there all came individually in cars. I guess they didn't carpool or whatever. They all came in their own car, so that's why the parking lot was crowded. All right, and of course I couldn't get a handicap spot, so I had to try to park somewhere where I could spread myself out so I can get out the door of my Jeep and get into my wheelchair so I can get into the restaurant. Well, it turns out I was lucky to have that, to be able to do that without having to park in a handicap spot, which were tied up, of course. So, you know how that goes. That's all the time. And so there we are. All right. Let's get into our topics. We have plenty of them tonight. I have a lot to talk about. And first, let's talk about a 911 dispatcher in Buffalo has been fired because of that shooting in Buffalo, New York at that supermarket. Fired because supposedly, I guess, dispatched the police late or asked too many questions or did something. I've had my experiences here in Allegheny County with 911, and they've been okay. It's just that they ask too many questions. They need to be getting the vehicle out first before they ask all these questions. Okay, by that time, the crook could be gone, or by that time something else could be going on. And 911, again, I don't have a problem with 911, but it's a stressful job, and I know what the dispatchers go through. I mean, I've never been a 911 dispatcher, but I know someone who was, and it's a stressful job, and it's a somewhat could be a thankless job at times, because what happens is people don't really appreciate sometimes what emergency service people do, and they don't understand their job. They don't understand that they put up with a lot of crap from people. They put up with a lot of different personalities. They put up with a lot of that stuff, and I mean, it is what it is, and that's what goes on. So, but this 911 dispatcher was fired. I hope the union, if they have one, decides that they're going to, do something about this, because that's a shame that somebody became the scapegoat here in that grocery store shooting up in Buffalo. It's really sad that we still have this gun violence going on all over the place. We'll talk about that as we go. Comment section wide open. Ralph Williams here, the way I see it, and it is the way I see it tonight. And we're talking about a whole bunch of stuff. We have a lot on our plate tonight to talk about, and we're here till 8 o'clock. You're welcome to put your comments in the comment section here. We're live on YouTube and Facebook, and we're brought to you tonight streaming by Melon. So I just want to let you know that as well. If you look at the ticket take at the bottom, you will see what I'm talking about. Las Vegas, possibly getting sports teams. Hey, I got to tell you, Las Vegas has come back. All right, Las Vegas was really in a bad way. I know John Taffer from Bar Rescue, and he was saying about how the hospitality, of course, Las Vegas is number one in hospitality. If you've ever been to Vegas, you notice that the hospitality is it down there. Well, they have a hockey team now. They have the old Oakland Raiders. They even have a USL soccer team that the Riverhounds were just down there not too long ago to play. So Vegas is starting to get into some sports now. They're really starting to get into it. And it turns out now that they're in the process of getting a baseball team, a Major League Baseball team. And it's looking like it could be the Oakland A's. And I'll tell you why. I talked to my friend Bruce Kessinger down there in California, in Oakland there. And he said the A's are done. He said they hardly draw fans. So they're going to move to Las Vegas. And I know I don't talk sports on this program because I have a sports program every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. here on Facebook and YouTube as well. But I thought this would be interesting for you to know that Las Vegas is adding to their sports teams. Now they're going to get a baseball team. They're looking to get an NBA basketball team. And I just found out something interesting, and I'll tell you about it tomorrow on Sports Corner. So tune in tomorrow. I have an interesting scenario about Vegas again, okay, in a couple different ways, on Sports Corner tomorrow night at 8 p.m. right here live on YouTube and Facebook with me, Ralph Williams. We got a lot to talk about. Steelers, Pirates. We can talk about some other sports and a whole lot more coming up tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Kennywood's Aero 360, stopping with people on it. You know what's interesting about Kennywood? Here's a park that I don't have any regards for right now. You want to know why? In case a lot of you do not know, and you're maybe a first-time watcher to the show, and I'm glad you are, if you are a first-time watcher to the show. Well, I'm handicapped. I'm in a wheelchair, all right? So I like Kennywood. I like to go there and play games, eat some food, and have a good time. Watch the rides go around. I can't get on hardly any of them. Okay. So here we are, Kennywood now. Usually when I go there, they usually have issues with the Phantom's Revenge, which is one of their main roller coasters there. That usually gets stuck up on the hill. The first hill, if you're familiar with Kennywood, the first hill of that roller coaster goes straight up the hill. They usually get stuck up at the top. Now, a friend of mine, his kids went there, and they said every time they go there to get on, they quit getting on it because it gets stuck. Okay? Now, the Aero 360 got stuck. All right? That's one of the older rides. That's been around a long time there. It replaced the Wonder Wheel, which was there for years. And I remember the old Pitfall. They had to take that out because it kept getting stuck up at the top and it wasn't coming down and the parts were hard to find. A lot of the parts for these rides now, you have to get them from foreign countries. So it's hard to find these parts for these rides. So when they break down, that's where the problem lies. So the way I see it here is that Kennywood really needs to make sure that their rides are fixed. Now, here's a park. See, I'm handicapped, as I said before. I like Kennywood. But I can't go to Kennywood because they want to charge me $40 for a ride-all-day pass. Okay? All right, now, I've been to that waste of park called Conneaut Lake Park. Okay, it's a waste. All right? I'm done with Conneaut Lake. I'll explain that another time. Well, I'll explain it right now. The reason I'm done with Conneaut Lake Park up there is because those people up there who complained and bitched, and yeah, that's right, I said bitched, about how, oh, Todd Joseph is taking our park. Oh, how Todd Joseph is doing this. Oh, how Todd Joseph is doing that. I was even fighting the Todd Joseph people who really like Todd Joseph, who think, oh, he's a businessman, he can do whatever he wants with a park, after he signed a contract in bankruptcy court saying that you could not interrupt what was already a historic landmark in the rides at the park. Well, he went ahead and did that. Okay? He's going to do whatever he wants anyway. I don't know what he did to manipulate the legal system up there, but they weren't, first, these people all pitched in, I guess, these Conneaut Lake Park lovers. They all pitched in and got a petition or whatever together and went to the court. Got a lawyer, I guess. I don't know how their legal system works up there in that county or that borough or whatever it is. And they went ahead and they got, they took them to court. Well, it turns out that didn't work. Then they tried to do something else here in Pittsburgh. They went and got one of these high-powered bankruptcy lawyers to go into a bankruptcy court down here at the federal level, which is in the Useless Steel building, because I've been there, all right, at the federal level. And that judge said he had no jurisdiction over what was going on, so he couldn't do anything. So it turns out now that they're still crying on their little, Facebook page, Then and Beyond or whatever, okay? But here's the problem, and it's the same thing with the restaurants. I never got 1 ounce of thanks. Not 1 ounce. I couldn't even get anybody from the borough, the township. You couldn't even get the Meadville Tribune, and who was doing the articles on these. You couldn't get their reporters to come on at all and talk about this. Okay? So why should I continue to do anything for Conneaut Lake Park? Or why should I do anything at all for any of these people? I couldn't get nobody from this group on my show here. What is the problem here? You want to fight something, but, you make me a one-man gang and don't help me out, okay? At least thank me. Say, hey, Ralph, thanks for at least, caring about us. I badmouthed him on the show. I did, same with the restaurants, okay? So you know what I'm doing now? I'm not getting involved in anything like that. You know why? And it's not because I'm insenseless about it, okay? it's not rewarding. It's not. I try to help the restaurants. Not 1 ounce of thanks from any restaurant owners. Hey, Ralph, thanks for at least being on our side, or thanks. Nothing. Couldn't get nobody on here from the associations. Nothing. Okay? What I want to know from everyone here tonight that's watching the program, what's wrong with me? Is it my style? Is Pittsburgh becoming, is the nation, is the state, is the world becoming this that you don't want to hear from people like me? You don't want to hear the truth? You don't want to hear what really is going on around here? Around this whole world, this whole country, it seems like nobody cares about what the truth is, and nobody wants to hear what, I tell it like it is, and I tell it the way I see it. And you know what? If you don't like it, you don't need to do it. You don't need to watch this program. All right? I'm not going to change my style for anybody. All right? Well, maybe if there was $1 million involved, well, I might. Okay? But there's nobody knocking at my door to pay me $1 million to put a show on here, or any national station. I'm here. I'm on Facebook. I'm on YouTube. I'm here every Monday night at 7 o'clock. Yeah, I blast people. I tell it like it is. And everybody gets offended. Well, that's too bad. All right? Okay? I was talking to a media colleague today. We were talking business. All right? I'm not going to tell you who it is. All right? You know what he said to me? He says, I like you. I like your talk shows. You know why? Because I have passion. I tell it like it is. I don't hide nothing. I don't lie. I tell it like it is. And maybe that's probably why nobody wants to come on this program. Last week, I challenged everybody. Did anybody help me out? You mean to tell me there's nobody that watches this program that can find Tim Stevens for me and get him on this program? I don't want to badmouth him. I need his help. I'm having issues with something, and I need his help. Okay? Oh, did I badmouth Erica Strausberger because she passed an ordinance about plastic bags in city council? Oh, did I badmouth did I badmouth Bruce Krause today? Oh, poor Bruce Krause. Do your job. Stop putting your foot in your mouth. All right? Do your job. Return people's phone calls. I'm one of them kind of people. You don't return my phone calls, I'll come find you. Especially if I need your help with something. Okay? That's unacceptable. Ricky Burgess, that's unacceptable. All right? I don't like people who duck and hide from me, like they did at that ribbon cutting ceremony I told you about last week. Ran and hid. They didn't want to talk to me. Okay? You can run, but you cannot hide. All right? And if you don't want to be exposed on this program, you talk to me. You return my calls. Okay? That's right. All right? Don't hide from me. I know Tim Stevens is not hiding. I need Tim Stevens. And this is the second week in a row I've asked somebody to please get a hold of Tim Stevens, and have him comment on here, okay? Because the live call-in phone's not working tonight. I have to figure out what's going on with it. All right, okay. So once I do that, we can do this. All right. But getting back to Kennywood, they don't have a general admission pass. I go to Waldameer and Erie. Now, Erie's one of my favorite places. I love Erie. Okay, in fact, my wife and I, we're going up there soon. And I will be broadcasting live from Erie. And we're going to take a little stop at Grove City and go around that whole upper corridor up there. We're going to spend a week there and enjoy ourselves. We have not had an opportunity to really do anything because of our wedding. Okay? But anyhow, at least Waldameer, I can go there and we can have fun. Because you know why? They only charge me $10. Kennywood, they want to rob you, man. They want to reach in your pocket and dig in there and go, oh, man, I'm going to take every penny I can. And then when I try to get Nick Paradise on the show, now, oh, excuse me, wow. Ooh. I get Nick Paradise on the show, and I reached out to him. He never got back to me, all right? Because I wanted to ask him, why don't you have general admission? See, why are you so afraid to be upfront with me? And then, tell me. Say, hey, you know what? Oh, I don't know. Maybe we just don't. I don't care what you tell me, but don't avoid me. Don't, not even bother to even talk to me. Because you know what? You're in for a war. Because I'll come find you. I'll put you on this. I'll say things about you on this show that'll make your head spin. Don't do that to me. Why? Why do you do that to me? You don't do it to the other media people, but you do it to me, Nick. Why are you doing it to me? All I want to know is why a handicapped person like me who doesn't have a lot of money, no, I'm not rich. I don't get paid to do none of this. Because the Pittsburgh media is afraid to hire me. They're afraid to put me on the air. Because they're afraid I might insult somebody. Okay? All right? Yeah, I'm going to bring this guy's name up. You gave Mark Madden a second chance. Why can't you give me one? Huh? Why can't you give me a chance? You gave it to Mark Madden. He got 2 chances. All right? Disney didn't like the way he was talking about people on the radio, the way he was insulting people. But that was his style. See, I have my style. My style's not. Okay? That's not my style. That's not my style. And I'm not going to do it. Ever. All right? So now Kennywood, the Aero 360 stop with people upside down. You know something, Kennywood? If you don't want to be sued, make sure your rides work properly and don't stop with people in the middle of them. Okay? That makes you look bad. All right? And now the ride is shut down, and they have to, of course, keep it, shut down. All right? Okay? So, Kennywood, you will never get my business until you come up with a general admission plan. Because you know what's interesting? I drive to Kennywood. I could take the bus and come in my own scooter. Okay? I really don't like going through all that. So I drive to Kennywood. And I use my regular wheelchair. So what I do is I exchange it for a scooter. Okay? All right? And what I used to do was I used to go in there, and I haven't been to Kennywood for a few years because of COVID. All right? So anyway, I haven't been to Kennywood for a few anyway. And the last time I was there, you got to rent a scooter, costs money. Okay? Refreshments cost money. Games cost money. Okay? All right? Souvenirs cost money. You catch what I'm saying, Kennywood? All right? And if this is the kind of attitude you want to have with the handicapped people, you know what? I feel sorry for you. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sit back and I'm going to wait. Why? Because I'm connected with some agencies, for handicapped people. I'm going to wait until they have a picnic at Kennywood, and I'll go then. I don't have to pay for it. Okay? And I'll even go out in the bus in my scooter. Then I don't have to pay for a power chair. Yeah. I can go in the back way. Okay? So that's what I'll do, Nick. Paradise. Okay? Kennywood. You're the man. Public Relations Director. You failed to tell everybody that Kennywood was sold when the Spanish company took it over and they sold it to a company in India. Yeah. Do you know that? They're owned by a company from India now. No. Kennywood never exposed that. A lot of people don't know that. Okay? But I do. All right. Gas prices. You know what? This is sad. Joe Biden was talking today, and they were talking about how, they want to fix the economy. They want to fix this inflation problem. All right. Well, you're supposed to be, I don't know, what is, excuse me, taking millions and millions of gallons from our strategic reserve to, make sure that the gas prices go down, but they've gone up. They have not gone down. Okay? Because we're still worried about Ukraine. All right? We're not worried about what's going on in our own country. We're worried about Ukraine. Okay, so here's what the gas companies and people who export gas, the man over there in Saudi Arabia, he's concerned about the COVID disease, or he is in whatever over there in India or wherever they make gasoline, or they include they are so concerned about the COVID in the United States and the war in Ukraine, so we naturally don't want to pump a lot of gas anymore. Seriously? So now the gas prices are over $5. I was going up 51 to go home yesterday or the other day, and I almost wrecked. Was it Friday? I almost wrecked. The BP down there by Woodruff Street, $5.04 a gallon. $5.04 a gallon. Okay? The interesting thing is we just got done getting through our bad economy because of COVID. And now we have gas prices up sky high because Joe Biden is a wimp and doesn't want to do anything. And I've blasted him many times on this program. All right. Your comments are welcome here as always. My live call-in phone's not working tonight, so we can't take your phone calls live. But if you want, you can have a comment if you'd like to leave one here on the show. We're live on Facebook and YouTube every Monday night, 7 p.m. It's the way I see it with me, Ralph Williams. And we're in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania at 808 Studios in the Allentown section of the city of Pittsburgh. Okay? All right, so gas prices continue to climb. Now, did I see Joe Biden going after the gas companies for squeezing our pockets? No. Okay? But I'm not going to go any further about it because it's a disgrace, but that's the way I see it. McCormick, wow, finally conceded to Dr. Oz. Yeah, Dr. Oz.
Oh, no.
Against John Fetterman, former mayor of Braddock and current lieutenant governor. He won by a landslide, practically. All right, he won by 40% in the election. Now he's got health problems. His wife says he'll be back in July on the trail. He's taking the month of June off. You know what's interesting? I actually was rooting for McCormick because I liked his spew. I liked the way he talked about, the country and getting everything back in order. Okay? But here's the interesting part about this. Trump never endorsed him. He endorsed Oz. Okay? So you got these commercials, with the, with my handicap pretty much. I watch a lot of TV. I don't get out much because of my health a little bit sometimes, okay? So anyhow, I'm watching, these ads that come up, and what happens is they come up to the, and they have all these guys with Trump banners in the background. But Trump never supported McCormick. He supported Dr. Oz. So now we got the great Mehmet Oz, who has a star in the Walk of Fame, who had this great national TV show that talked about being a doctor, whatever, okay? And now you want to be a politician. And you claim you've moved into Pennsylvania just to be that politician. Okay? John Fetterman's been living here for years, Mehmet Oz. And I don't talk about politics like this much on this program because I really don't want to. Okay? There are two things that I've always told never to talk about, or politics and religion. Because you can never you'll always get into an argument with somebody. I was sitting here in the building talking to some of my fellow tenants here in the building outside. And I says, I want to ask everybody something. And I posed this question. Got no answers, just like I get no answers about everything else. Okay? And I got no answers about the fact that what would happen right now. Do you think we would be in the situation we're in right now if Trump was president? Would we be giving Ukraine $80 trillion? Would we be in the situation we're in? No. Okay? But there was only one reason why I really didn't like Donald Trump. And it didn't have anything to do with any of that. He was good at that stuff. He took us out of NATO. I didn't vote for him, but you know what? I gave him a chance just like everybody else does. Okay? You're entitled to at least one chance in your life. Okay? So I gave Trump an opportunity. I didn't like the way he had his third grade attitude. Okay? I didn't like the way he insulted people. And here's the interesting fact. He insulted a handicapped person. He insulted women. And guess where his highest votes came from? Both of them. All right? That makes no sense to me at all. And when I used to do Lyft, I used to have these people get in there and go, oh, Donald Trump tells it like it is. He don't hide nothing like the rest of these politicians. That's why I like him. He wasn't a politician. He's a businessman. Well, here's a businessman that has had 10 bankruptcies or more. Here's a businessman now who Atlantic City tore down his hotels. Okay? And that's a fact. The mayor said in Atlantic City he wants no part of Donald Trump. What did Donald Trump do for Atlantic City? All the years that they supported him and his business. All the years. Okay? He did nothing for Atlantic City. All right? All right, next. And that's the way I see it tonight. Next, what happened to the baby formula manufacturers? How did this shortage happen? I want to know what happened here. Okay? Our country has a baby formula shortage. Okay? And we're not getting any answers, straight answers. Of course, you're not. Okay? But instead of Biden doing this, of course, okay, why isn't he questioning what happened? How come they couldn't produce this? Was it COVID? Or was it they couldn't find workers? Oh, the one plant closed down because they weren't health department ready. Well, get it ready. Do you realize what you caused? All right? This is ridiculous. You know, it's bad enough we have an inflation problem, and then you got to add more to the major, to this problem. That's the way I see it tonight about that. What is going to happen with Pittsburgh Police Department after Scott Schubert? It's a question I'm posing to you tonight. In case you're not aware, Thursday, I on my TV show, and you can watch the replay of it on PCTV's Facebook page. Okay, the way I see it, I do my monthly broadcast there on PCTV. All right, and I did a nice commentary on Scott Schubert. Now, my question to you is this: the committee for Mayor Gainey decided that he's putting together, as I've mentioned before, committees all across the city in different topics. Public works, the housing authority. I'm waiting for that one to come back. Okay. The Pittsburgh Police, the fire department, the paramedics, anything like that has any public works, the forestry division, whatever. He put all these committees together to go around and take a look at these and get back to him and bring him recommendations. Well, the recommendation of that committee was that a new police chief needs to be hired. So rather than Scott Schubert be told he was fired, he decided to retire. Now, I don't blame him. Okay? Now, I've never personally met Scott Schubert, but I know I have some friends that are in the police department, and they have told me that he is a nice guy, and he kind of got stuck between a rock and a hard place with some of this stuff. That wasn't really his fault. Okay? All right? And you had that idiot Wendell Histrick, who was the public safety director. When I saw him at city council meetings with my old friend Darlene Harris, who used to eat him alive, at the council meeting about the shortage of cops, he never had any answers. So, there we are. All right. So, here we are. He has stepped down. He has retired, and he has a right to do that. Unfortunately, he couldn't stay for his 30th year. He has 29 years in the department. He started out, and he worked his way up to chief. Now, the city is going out and they're looking for another chief. All right. And all I have to say is this: God help you. I hope you have a lot of prayers, because the last guy that we brought in here, that we went out to the outside to look for, was Cameron McClay. And what happened when Cameron McClay was here? Okay, of course the morale was down during Schubert too, a little bit. They said it was down a lot, actually. All right, okay. Actually, some of the things he did, he was walking around in the community. I know that. I've seen it. All right. He's been up here a few times. All right. I've never personally met the man, because every time he was up here, I was, I don't know. I dropped the ball. I wasn't able to talk to him. So anyway, he was good for that. He would walk around in the community and everything else. But the department was not succeeding. They're low on morale. They're the lowest paid municipal police department in the entire state, and practically around the United States. All right. Police leave here to go elsewhere. They go to Whitehall. They go to Baldwin. They go to those places, even though they're smaller communities. I talked to a guy I know who was a city cop, and he went somewhere else, and he told me he gets treated better there. People appreciate the cops. They don't throw bricks at them. They don't try to shoot them. They don't insult them. They don't, but that's what you get here in Pittsburgh by these people. All right? And I'm not going to mention any names, and I'm not going to mention any communities. You know who you are, okay? And I don't care what you think of me, and you can call me every name in a book. I don't care either, okay? But I have this to say. The reason why your community continues to be the way it is it's because of you, okay? You, okay? And don't tell me I'm wrong, because I'm right. I've seen it. I've seen it happen. Okay? I used to live in McKees Rocks. They had issues then, they have issues now. They have a mayor that's 90 years old. I don't even think, he's so busy getting drunk, he doesn't even know what's going on in his own town. And he's lucky I moved out, because I was going to run against him. Jack Muir. All right? I was going to run against him for mayor. Mary Ann Ciccone, who was the former district justice there, should be lucky. I was going to run against her. Because I was frustrated. I didn't like what I saw there. I didn't like the excuses. I didn't like nothing. I don't like excuses. I want results. When I don't get results, I get mad. I don't like excuses. I don't do excuses. I don't expect anyone else to give me excuses. Okay? All right? Until Jack Muir is voted out as mayor, McKees Rocks will never be a decent community. Ever. All right? He's so drunk and uncoordinated, I don't think he even understands. And that's right, Jack Muir. I'm calling you out on this because when I was there in McKees Rocks, you didn't make my life any more pleasant. Okay? So there you go. But anyway, as I mentioned before, what do you think's going to happen? Mayor Gainey talks about how he wants to have beat patrols on the streets. Okay? I've been preaching about that for years. Never got it. But Mayor Gainey says he's going to do it. Peduto, but he didn't get a chance because he got voted out, came up with a good concept. And that was 50 cops in a police station right on the south side, 24/7, roving the south side, busting degenerates, drunks, and everybody else. Okay? I have a scanner. I live in Zone 3. I listen to what goes on down there. All right? So I know what goes on. I don't need to worry about anything else, and that's the facts of what goes on. All right? Okay, so anyway, what do you think? Do you think it's going to get better or is it going to get worse? What is this person, whoever comes from whatever other city they came from, okay, can do better here than there? See, I don't like that. Just like our current Pittsburgh Public Schools. The superintendent should be Wayne Walters, Dr. Wayne Walters. Okay? He knows the system. He's been in it for years. He was a principal with Obama. The kids, the students, the parents love him. The teachers like him. What more could you ask? No. We're going to spend $200,000 looking for a superintendent. And what happens, and I said it was going to happen years ago, before I even got into this, okay, that this wasn't going to work. Because what goes on in other cities don't go on here. It's a whole different breed and ball game. All right? So, they screw over Commander Holmes, Eric Holmes. So he goes, and he now is the chief at Duquesne University. Okay? They could have moved him up. He was a good commander, a good captain, or whatever his position was. I saw him on TV, was well spoken. I heard he was a good person. What was wrong with that? What, you're afraid because you had somebody internal before every time, except for Cameron McClay? All right? That made a couple other people have to leave the department because of him. Good people because of that guy. Okay? So go ahead. Bring somebody in from another city of Pittsburgh. Go ahead and do that. And see what happens. They have a management shortage now. They can't get sergeants, commanders, or whatever because everybody leaves the Pittsburgh Police Department. So what's your, let's go around and shake hands with everybody in the community. Let's go around and talk to people in the community. Let's give criminals jobs. Yeah, let's give them jobs, okay? That's the solution to every problem. Give them a home. Give them a job. Give them this, give them that. How about giving our military something? Our military people. And quit screwing them over as to where they're not homeless. Quit screwing our military people over. All right? Who go over across the world and get shot at. Fight for our rights to be free. Okay? Treat the Pittsburgh police right. And it started with Mayor Peduto because he was pissed because he didn't get their endorsement. Okay? All right? That's why he screwed the police department over. He didn't get their endorsement. That's too bad. Oh, an endorsement from them is more important than public safety. Comment section wide open. We still have 5 minutes if you want to comments about it. Do you disagree or agree with anything I say? I get nothing. I mean, I have a few people who do comment. I have a lot of people who do watch this program. But nobody comments. Nobody tells me what they're feeling. But they do tell me, good show, Ralph. You do put on a good show. Okay? And I had this discussion on Thursday when we had once again, I got no calls on my live call-in show on PCTV. We did a year in sports review show. It was me, Claudia Rosano, Luther Dupree, Smoking Jim Frazier, and Al Levine, the Talking Machine from Bethel Park TV. So we did a mid-year sports and review show. We were sitting there debating and talking about different things. And at the end of the show, I was telling Luther about some old shows that seem to lurk around YouTube about me getting prank calls all the time, which of course did happen back in the 90s, okay? But Luther brought something up very interesting. He said, back in them days, you got a lot of calls. Now you don't because there's too much internet. There's too much of this. There's too much of that. And there's a lot of people that do what I'm doing here, okay? All right? So you could always listen to somebody, with this. All right. All right. I have a bunch of stuff I wanted to talk about, but it looks like we spent a lot of time. I'm very frustrated about this, and this is the way I see this here. John Deere Tractor moving their production from Iowa. They're going to lay all those people off. They're going to lose their jobs and move it to Mexico. Thanks, John Deere. You were the last of the American tractor companies that actually made stuff in America, and now you want to take it. Where are you? Oh, Joe Biden, where are you at? How come you're not doing something? Oh, I know. You got too much on your plate. You're worried about Ukraine. So you let John Deere walk away. Here we go again. More people trying to take guns and drugs through PI. Look, I have to laugh because you know what's hilarious about this? The folks that are bringing these guns through Pittsburgh International or from West Virginia. Because there's no major airport in West Virginia. They're all small airports. Charleston, Wheeling, Morgantown. They all have these little dinky airports. I don't know what flies there anymore. Useless Air used to. I know they have a SunWest or Sunbelt or Sun Harris or whatever it is airline out at the airport that flies to some small areas here. I've been trying to get them to go to Erie because Erie don't have a lot to offer, and they call themselves an international airport. But anyway, because Erie's one of my second cities. But they keep bringing these guns in. Think they could sneak it through the TSA. What are you trying to do? Put it in your care. Put it in your luggage. Don't try to carry it on to the flight. You know what the fines are for that? You could lose your gun permit too. Come on, people. What? See, this is what I'm talking about. When I talk about people have to be high on pot, smoking dope. Maybe it's the, what do they call that? Moonshine. Yeah, there we go. Maybe it's the moonshine distilleries that they have in West Virginia, that all these, people make all this. Is it too much moonshine or too much? Is West Virginia that boring that, your minds are so freeze dried that you have no clue that you shouldn't bring a gun into the airport? All right? What does the purpose of that serve to you? Nothing. You want to take a gun with you on a trip? Put it in your luggage, unloaded. Quit trying to sneak it in there. All right? Oh no! All right, stop it. It's an ongoing problem, and in Pittsburgh International, it's almost the worst. And we're not even that big of an airport anymore. We're downsizing our airport. We're right-sizing it because of useless air leaving and doing all their stuff that they did to our county. And they blamed us for it. They said, the landing rates were too high. We had to pay taxes. All they did was complain. Our employees made too much money. All right. Drugs, guns. Stop it. Stop trying to do that. It's ridiculous. It really is. All right. Yeah, we're done. Wow. Well, like I said, by the way, Scott Schubert, speaking of him, he wasn't unemployed long. Well, of course he retired. But he took a job with the FBI. And he's going to be working, guess where, in West Virginia. So look out for Scott Schubert. All right? So look out for him. But congratulations on that. Yeah, congratulations, Scott Schubert. Got a job in West Virginia. I'm Ralph Williams. This has been another edition of The Way I See It. We're here every Monday night at 7 p.m. live on YouTube and Facebook. Don't forget, tomorrow night is my Sports Corner show, 8 p.m. start time. We have a lot to talk about tomorrow. And also don't forget on Wednesday, 4:30 p.m. on Wednesday, get this, the final, well, actually, I'm canceling it. I've canceled all my Mahler stuff. They went 1-7 this year. I don't even want to talk about it. It was a disgrace. Anyway, so that's done. Probably tomorrow night at 10:30, 10:15, 10:30 on the Sports Web, the Turnbuckle Talk portion. It's going to be myself and Mark Mancini from Blog Talk Radio and Mancini Media. We're going to be on there talking about wrestling. And also, don't forget, Thursday night at 8 p.m. is Wrestle Talk with me and Mark Mancini. 347-205-9631 is the number to call for you to listen in on Wrestle Talk. We have a very good following across the country, so I just wanted to let you know and give you some insight on that. And don't forget, Saturday at 5 p.m. on PCTV, Channel 21, Comcast 47, Verizon. I'm part of the Sports Smorgasbord. Starts at 4 o'clock with the Boxing Authorities, 5 o'clock me, Sports Corner, and then at 6 p.m. Steel City Sports World. Steel City Sports World and the Boxing Authorities are hosted by Claudia Rosano, Smoking Jim Frazier, and Luther Dupree. And myself and Smoking Jim Frazier host Sports Corner. We'll be on Saturday at 5 p.m. as well. All right. Thank you for watching The Way I See It. It's been a pleasure. And I want to thank you for watching. Have a great one.